It is sanctioned by the International Boxing Federation. At ringside, President Robert W. Lee. The ringside supervisor, Bill Brennan. The World Boxing Council is represented by President Jose Suellen. And representative of the organization, Dr. Elias Khanna. The World Boxing Association is President Gilberto Mendoza at ringside, along with James David, the Choir Legal Counsel, and Championship Commission, Dr. Elias M. Cordoba. The three judges for this contest, John Stewart, Eva Shea, and Rocky Castellani. He's a man whose success in business epitomizes the American dream. The author of the year's best-selling book, The Art of the Deal, his vision and accomplishments make him the quintessential entrepreneur. Ladies and gentlemen, New Jersey Tag 10, our host for this great evening of championship boxing, Mr. Donald J. Trump. And another gentleman in the ring. In 1960, an Olympic gold medal winner. In 1964, the heavyweight championship. 10 years later, again, the world heavyweight champion. And in 1979, he won it an unprecedented third time. Perhaps he is the greatest of all time, ladies and gentlemen. A former three-time heavyweight champion of the world.
Boom, boy. You know we're about to get it in today, but before we get started, I'd like to send a special shout out to my man IOTBA. Boy, you know it's nothing but love. But now I told you on Friday, today is the day that we're going to break down the peekaboo style, Mike Tyson's version, and it is about to go down. But before I get started, I'd like to introduce myself for those of you who have never watched my channel. Boy, you are late to the dance. You know it's Eric A. Bradley. I'm the real fight doctor. And we break the fight world down for you as the boxing fans, round by round. Back to the topic at hand. It's Mike Tyson. It's the origin of the peekaboo. And I told you we would get it going. And what we're going to do today, you're going to expect a little breakdown of what it entails to become a master at the science of the peekaboo boxing style. But I want to know where all my people's at. That's my man, Corey in the house, IOTBA. Make sure you go follow my man, Corey Bradshaw, IOTBA, in the house on the fight show. What's up, Carlos? Special shouts out to you, fam. To all of you, we will be getting into some serious Mike Tyson. We're going to see some Mike Tyson training. We're going to also see Mike Tyson in a real throw down when the peekaboo was at its peak at the pinnacle. What's up, Ibra, Valera? You in kin to boxing, Edwin Valera. What's up? Muhammad Ali was the best. Y'all see him in the beginning of that video. We will tune into this entire fight in the next few minutes. So, yeah, what's up, champ? How you doing? Why is the peekaboo such a lost art amongst today's major fights? It's because you got to have the proper teachers, and it wasn't easy to do it then. Cus D'Amato was a boxing trainer from 1933 to 1985. That's 52 years teaching. He had 3 world champions that mastered this style. Jose Torres, and you got fighters like Floyd Patterson and my man, none other than Mike Tyson, the most ferocious to ever lace it up to do it. So that's kind of what it is. It was a very, very tough 52-year endeavor mastering this science, and to see his third person take it on and operate at the level in which he did. No, Cus D'Amato didn't have the opportunity to see Mike Tyson play it all the way out, but he was right there on the cusp, and he already knew what it was. But without any further ado, that's why we do what we do over here. We teach, and we make sure that guys like Cus D'Amato's legacy is continued on, and we bring them up every single week. every single conversation. It's about remembering those who pioneered what we are doing today. So we're going to learn some good stuff in this episode where we really break the fight game down inside of the peekaboo style and show some of the most explosive training techniques of Mike Tyson and the peekaboo style. And make sure before you guys finish getting into this, watching this, it's going to be very good. And we're going to do more extensive one in what we call our virtual webinar, not a virtual webinar, but a live one. It will not be pre-recorded. It will be very in-depth, the how, when, why of how to execute and do the peekaboo. You will find the comments to register there down in the comment box below. So whether you're on YouTube or if you're on Facebook, make sure you get registered for that in the next few weeks. Today is your day to get locked in because it's going to be awesome. That was a great question, champ. Why is the peekaboo such a and just remember, the peekaboo style wasn't just one style. You can merge it. So you have to learn what works for you. Andre Ward, Canelo Alvarez, several people that use it that you know already, just segments of it, because that's all you need. Tyson and Floyd Patterson really fought in that way. So that's why it looks so particular to them. But I'm going to break it down before we get going. The peekaboo is about positioning hands, whether soft hands and forearms peeping between. So, and then the other version, and we'll get into that as well. And that's why it's called a peekaboo. So therefore, you don't have to do that the whole time. It's any method of using that technique in order to see your opponent to a strike. So you're just going to get a lot of education. That was a great question. Let me see where you guys are from. Where are you guys at? I want to see all my people. Salute out my guys out there in Denmark. TSOB is in the building. Give yourself a special shout out. Good morning from Austria, mate. What's going on, John MacArthur? It's good to see you on the fight show, brother. You ready to see some Mike Tyson? We about to get into some Mike Tyson. There you go, trainer. William McDonald, TSOB. Scotland is in the house. So special shouts out to Scotland and my friend. You've got an opportunity to listen to this raggedy voice twice in a day. So unlucky for you, but we getting it in. Y'all ready to get into some of this stuff? What I wanted to do first was take you to one of the training regimens that Mike Tyson was really into, and we will take it back and show you some of the things in a place where he got it. And one of the trainers that worked with him was Kelvin Rooney. Now, it's unfortunate that sometimes you see a lot of people trying to practice this style, and Kevin Rooney worked with Mike Tyson, Teddy Atlas, Cus D'Amato. Those individuals put so much time into this. So you're going to get a good bird's eye view of what it looks like when you can execute the peekaboo, and you'll be able to ask yourself and think about this really clear. What we're going to do is show you a snippet of what the peekaboo style looks like, even in the mind of a person. For those of you who are watching this feed and you are always in line saying you want to learn the peekaboo, well, I'm going to show you what happens to people when they learn the peekaboo, and at the same time, the theory and concept. It's just not about speed and power. It's about timing. And if your timing isn't on, you're going to see right now, before we get into that Tyson fight, exactly what happens when you have mastered everything but the timing. This right here, there is no better person to use for this segment than the man who trained hands-on with Iron Mike Tyson to do this. So take your time, enjoy this clip, because this will be a clip that really give you clarity as to how difficult the peekaboo style is. This is Kevin Rooney using every wrinkle in the peekaboo style that you've seen. And you're going to see him firsthand right here on the fight show. I'm going to take you back right now.
very effectively and very busily.
Tim, you notice now, Aguayo has got to go to the body with that left hook. He'll dig to the body and come back into the head because by then, Rooney would have stood up.
Oh, there's a solid right hand landed by Arguello.
Rooney's hurt.
Back on his heels.
He's hurt.
Another right hand lands from Arguello.
Picture perfect punches by Arguello. That right hand is as straight as an arrow.
Rooney's starting to wear down now. And again, Arguello goes to the body, brings him up.
Another big right hand that wobbled Rooney.
He brings him back up. Body shots, and then he comes over with the right hand.
Rooney makes no attempt at all to go side to side or move out of the range. He's trying to outpunch Arguello, and he's no big puncher. But he's a tough kid.
He has been shaken twice, has not gone down. We're in the second round. But Arguello has hardly missed a punch he has thrown. He's been deadly accurate. Rooney staying there with him, as Gil Clancy and Ray Leonard pointing out. He's really an easy target at this point.
Well, again, you'll see Arguello go back to the body because he knows really well that's what hurts Rooney and sets him up.
Arguello's been able to block almost everything Rooney has thrown in this round. Rooney got through a couple of shots in the first round, but I don't recall one landing here in the second.
Tim, any aspiring amateur fighter should really watch Arguello the way he throws that right hand. He drops it right at the other fella's chest, and it hits him on the chin. Comes in straight as an arrow.
A minute to go, round two. Right hand lead by Rooney got through. Rooney gainly holding his ground and trying to punch back, but he's taken the shots, and Arguello's been blocking most of his.
Arguello drops one right hand on the chin and brings it right back down underneath. There it was underneath again.
Under 30 seconds to go in the second round, scheduled for 10.
Well, we mentioned would Arguello have the same punching power as a 140-pounder. So far, he's landed some big bombs, and Rooney's still standing.
Final seconds of this second round. Oh, big right hand, and down goes Rooney. A tremendous straight right hand by Alexis Arguello, dropping Rooney right above our broadcast position. He will not get up. It is all over. A second round KO. First man over to see Kevin Rooney is Alexis Arguello. He is concerned about this young man. It was a straight right hand.
Arguello worked the body of Rooney, weakened his man, set him up, put his chin up. The overhand right did the damage.
Arguello is still anxiously overlooking Rooney. The doctor is in there, Frank Doggett and his staff, and now Rooney struggling to get up. And the doctor's just saying, relax, we've got everything under control here, but Rooney is sitting up. And finally, Alexis has gone to his corner to be attended to by his handlers, but he was concerned. A big right-hand shot that dropped Rooney right on the seat of his pants.
Tim, I think this should dispel any fears that Arguello would not be a hard puncher at 140 pounds. Anybody he hits with that right hand at 140 pounds is going to go. I don't care who they are.
Let's go back into the action in round number two. And gentlemen, let's see if we can pick up the... Oh, wow, we didn't have much to pick up. It was just a perfectly executed right hand, Ray.
Oh, beautiful right hand, set up by body shots, which weakened Rooney. And here we have another shot of the knockdown or knockout as Arguello. He's slipping punches, the left jab, followed by an overhand right.
Boom! And what you just witnessed there was Alexis Arguello, which is one of the greatest warriors in boxing history. Peekaboo, the man who taught as trainer Mike Tyson, the peekaboo. Some of you say, Coach Bradley or Fight Doctor or Yo E, why isn't there many more people using the peekaboo, as the young man just asked? That's why. It doesn't work if you don't make it work. And just because you learn it, there are millions of people out right now engaged in the peekaboo style. Tyson has millions and millions of fans and followers. But it does not mean because you learn it that it's going to work that way. Tyson would have won and been a killer in any style. Instinct is what Tyson had. Tyson had instinct to be inside of the ring. You have to meet a trainer to pull the fight out of you that's required in a boxing ring, because he was fighting in the street. You might be able to fight in the street, but it's different in a boxing ring because there are rules and there's disciplines, and you have to understand things like conditioning matter and not being hit by guys who've been training to hit you for their entire life. The boxing science goes much further beyond what the media can tell you, because they don't know anything about boxing. They literally don't. They just know how to be around the sport. But I say to this, because you watch LeBron James on your television or on YouTube for hours and hours and years, since 2003, LeBron James has been in the NBA. That's approximately 18 years, right? Can you play like him because you've been watching him? No. So when you're a media, you just because you see it all the time and you could talk about it, don't mean you know anything about it. And that it being that stuff that allows people that are under our realm and our banner to do the stuff that you see on the screen. We put it out front and center and show you, whether it's our guys doing technical training, my coaches abroad who are teaching their fighters the science, or if it's a world-class guy already as a Mike Tyson who just used this style several months ago. It is advantageous for you to listen to this channel when we're talking about the science, where you have coaches who put in their entire lives. I will say guys like the Derek James of the world, who are actually a fighter. Does not mean you transition into a boxer or a coach, and he's done that. There are several others. Robert Garcia. Tip my cap to guys who can do it and really know the sport. But you will notice that there are very few people that are in the sport on the microphone that actually know the sport, because they do it and been involved in it. And therefore you have to kind of tolerate people on the mic, and you want to hear the real things. That what is this Mike Tyson is doing? It's so great that he's the most searched athlete on the internet still. He hadn't been in a fighting mode with the Tyson aura since 2005. All right, it's 2021. What does that tell you? This era is lacking in a lot of things, and teaching is one. So special shouts out to all of you. Let me know where you're from before we get ready to get into this thing. And I always want to make it really yummy to you to watch this show, because we're trying to keep everything 1,000 for you. So who wants to watch this next segment that we're going to break down? And it is the Mike Tyson versus Spinks fight. And I'm going to show you that, because there's a way to do the peekaboo style that's effective, and there's a way to do the peekaboo style that it's not effective. And that's why what you see running across the screen is constantly running across the screen. Get registered for the peekaboo live webinar. Do it today. The link is in the comment box. And what you're going to learn when you're in that clinic is the how, the when, and the why to use this style. It's absolutely masterful. And I've studied it 40 years plus. And fortunately, I had the opportunity to see Mike Tyson doing it live. So at the same time, man, it's like a pleasure to have come up in this lineage and be able to be a part of the sport in a major way, and then just take what I got and pass it to you. Because what I'm doing is speaking for the coaches that don't speak for themselves, because they're busy working with their fighters, trying to keep them in the top level status or get them to the top level status. They have to tolerate listening to media too. So giving you the platform to say your name, get your shout out, keep it going, keep it moving, and make sure we got Lebanon in the building. Special shouts out to Lebanon. Now we're going to watch this Mike Tyson fight to show you the difference between doing it right. And then we're going to ask you guys some questions out there. Make sure you put your questions in the comment box below so I can answer your questions as we go. This next fight, and there'll be some funny when it's coming on, you'll probably have a chuckle to yourself. For those of you who just tuned in, this is the Mike Tyson Spinks, and you will be able to see when you become a training monster how people see you in their eyes. Let's take a look back into Mike Tyson Spinks. It's going down on the fight show. I will be popping names up on the screen, so let me know where you're from.
Let's get ready to rumble 12 rounds for the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the white trunks with black ribs and weighing in.
Special shouts out to Alberto Montero Perez or Perez. First time on the fight show. It's good to see you, brother. Welcome.
51 victories without a loss, 21 by knockout. He is the former undisputed and undefeated light heavyweight champion of the world and the only king of that division ever to win the heavyweight title in the history of boxing. Because he never lost that title in the ring, he is still recognized by many, including Boxing Illustrated and Ring Magazine, as the heavyweight champion. Ladies and gentlemen, the undefeated man who brings the jinx, Michael Spinks. And fighting out of the red corner, wearing the solid black trunks and weighing 218 and 1/4 pounds, originally from the streets of Brooklyn. He passed through the hometown of the late great
Special shout to my man Thomas Himmelberg. TSOB is in the building, constantly representing fat business.
including 26 KOs in 5 rounds or less and 15 in the first round alone.
Mustafa in the building. Welcome to the fight show, Mustafa. Kurt Thomas in the building. Another TSOBer getting it in. This is how we do it. Hard, fast, constant, pressure, burst, pipes. Kurt Thomas, TSOB, Columbus, Ohio. Check them out.
King Sports and Entertainment Network. As Frank Cappuccino calls him in, let's listen.
Instructions in the dressing room. Are there any questions by either of you? I both these touch gloves. Good luck to both of you.
Millions and millions of dollars on the line. Billions of people literally.
Special shouts out to my man Charles Simmons, TSOB, New York City, Harlem, baby. Do it right.
Spinks at stake, the undisputed
It's all good, brother.
championship of the world.
You're about to see some good boxing. Mike Tyson, this kid gonna do good things.
Only guy who
And this is the other guy, Eddie Futch in his corner. One of the greatest to ever do it, Butch Lewis.
black trunks, no socks, no real flashiness to anything but his boxing. Michael Spinks, on the other hand, dressed in his white trunks with the black trim, the white shoes, and we're just about ready to go. The opening bell, let's see what's happened. Tyson attacks immediately, cuts off the ring, throws the wild right hand. This is round one, we're just on the way. Spinks not able to hold him off so far with a jab. He tries to come back at him, but Tyson walks right through it. Tyson showing no fear, no respect at all here in round one. And Michael Spinks has to hang on to the first round of the fight. Frank Cappuccino has to separate the two. Absolutely no fear and no respect by Tyson for any jabs or anything that Mike Spinks can do. Tyson just looking for the opportunity to land a vicious left hook and then a right hand. While Michael Spinks was successful against Larry Holmes, an aging Larry Holmes, and he was successful against the guy that hadn't fought in a long time, in Jerry Cooney. The right hand lands to the head of Mike Spinks. It's Tyson all the way here in round number one. Vicious shots to the body. Nothing really heavy landing yet, but he's taking them. The uppercut. Body shot. Down goes Mike Spinks for the first time. The count is up to 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. That was a body shot that took him down. Here comes Mike Spinks in. He leads to the right hand. Down he goes. I don't think you get up from this. Mike Spinks is laying flat on his back. The count is up to 5, and 6, and 7, and 8. He won't be able to do it. It's all over. Mike Tyson has won it. Spinks almost fell back through. A dramatic first round knockout for Mike Tyson. Unbelievable strike. It came in the first round. And the timer tells me 1:31 of the first round. One of the fastest knockouts in heavyweight history. It came at 1.
Whew, good gosh. Boy, that is some fire. I love watching that fight. I remember that fight, and I was ecstatic, man. I mean, this was at the pinnacle of Mike Tyson's reign as the most feared man on the entire planet. And when you're the most feared man on the entire planet, that means you're the most feared man on in the entire universe, because we don't know anyone else. God is the universe. So, I mean, think about that. That is a heck of a title to carry around. But what you watched is Mike Tyson utilizing the techniques in which I spoke to earlier. And what is that? That is being able to utilize the peekaboo style, which is looking between your gloves, forearms sturdy, hands soft, hands. You see how he does that? That was a part of one of the what we call bio techniques. Biomechanics is not the actual mechanic that it looks like, but the manner in which you use it to do what you got to do better. That's building your biomechanics. Like when you're in physical therapy, you have to do other mechanics in order to do the actual mechanic that in order for you to do, whether it's run again or use your shoulder again. If you have frozen shoulder, there are different biomechanics, which are different mechanics that lead up to the major muscle axis point. And the axis point is where the socket in the bone meet to create a bend or pendulum swing. All right. So, well, a little bit of physiology going on the fight show. It's all good. It's Friday, man. Let me know where my peoples are from. I done looked down a few times, but as you can see in this thing, what we're going to do next is really show you some of the training techniques that Mike Tyson utilizes. But make sure you register in the comment box is a register for all of my real ones out there that's training others or whatever you do, and you really are enthralled. I know a lot of guys read a lot of literature on the peekaboo. You can come into this webinar and it's just going to be very insightful and a lot of takeaways, and there'll be offers for you to get a little more than what you came to get. So, but without a doubt, it's advantageous for you to take part in things that really give you education, because you're glued to the entertainment, but behind the entertainment is the education, which is why I say if you're going to be a part of the sport of boxing, even in the media, you need to get vested and get into the boxing world. Like, the door is closed to you guys in our minds and in our conversations. You don't get in unless you're in. Like, the people that you're talking to are not giving you real food. All right. So learn it, get in depth with it, know how to talk the language. That's how you get that respect on those front lines. And so for those who are looking to do it, come on, man, we getting it in. The next segment is going to show you 2 or 3 layers into the biomechanics in which Mike Tyson implemented in his training style. And then we're going to come back for some trivia for you to get admission, scholarship into the School of Boxing, so you can kind of figure out what all this stuff and conversation and talk is about, and you'll be able to get cash prize. We like to do that, whether it's $100, whether it's $50, whether it's that plus a scholarship. What we've learned is it's very necessary to let people know you're really down with them 100%. So I hope you enjoy this next segment. And for me, I felt like it was necessary to show you this. So let's see our guy, Mike Tyson, in training. Foundation is where we're going to And as you can see behind him is Kevin Rooney, the guy that you just saw go heads up with Alexis Arguello and really get smashed using all the techniques. And it goes to show it doesn't matter if you teach a guy the peekaboo. It doesn't matter what you would have taught this dude. He would have been a killer in the ring. Special shouts out to Carice Thompson. This makes you want to go get on that sauna suit. Screw the sauna suit. Be the sauna suit. And TSOB is in Utah. TSOB is in the entire globe. It's the internet. Online. Our course is crazy. It's just like this. But it's real. We ain't just watching somebody. We about that life. So click that link. Get registered, man. Check us out what we do live. The webinar, the peekaboo concept, theory, techniques, how, when, why. It's going down. See, this guy could have known any style.
That's it. There you go. Now you got again. Who's the last guy to stop? Time. Very good. That's it. There you go. Now you got again. Who's the last guy to stop? Time. Very good. That's it. There you go. Now you got again. Who's the last guy to stop? Time. Very good. Now you got again.
Look, man, timing, training, being in a mental place to be there. That's what you need to beat guys like Holyfield. You got to have humility, and Tyson didn't have humility back then. And that's why he performed so well when he fought Roy Jones. Just the humility at 54 years old. So you can beat anybody when you got humility. Just go back. Lennox Lewis was humble. Holyfield, humility. That's what ended up being the thing. No ego. Back here, Tyson didn't have ego. Tyson was just a killer because he was humble and he had humility. This is the art of martial arts. Boxing, the sweetest science. It's all about the humility. Here's Tyson in some sparring.
Move your head, jab and flip and jab.
Look at how he keeps his hands nice and soft when he's throwing his punches.
Oh, go on, there you go. See that? That's it. Walk around. Pop it. Very good. Come on, punching. That's it. That's it.
See, that training, that system is everything. It's everything when it comes down to having the understanding of what the peekaboo is about. One of the reasons Mike Tyson's hands were so fast is because he made sure prior to his defensive prowess, his postures was always. I assume that Mike Tyson's clenched really tight, but he wasn't clenched really tight. He was very loose. So that's why his punches came off like whop, 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 whop. You get it? So that's what we're going to teach you. As I told you before, when you got the special sauce, because you don't have to force it. It's just there. And that's why we feel so good about being able to host such necessary clinics for the guys who are in the game, whether you're enthusiasts and you just love boxing and you just want to learn and you don't know if you feel good enough about yourself, you jump in that ring and see if you want that smoke. So that's why we got to do it. But the key thing is this, man, is that one of the biggest things that you want to learn about guys like Cus D'Amato is this generational. Fortunately, he was around long enough to live through 3 full fight generations. That's nearly 15 years apiece, meaning if you got a guy like a Lennox Lewis, he reigns for about 15 years. Klitschko, Joe Louis. So he had 52 years in the game. So that's over 3 generations of fight stories he lived through, just like greats like Archie Moore. So it's very powerful. And guys like me who take what he did and say, now I'm going to give him another 30 more years because I'm extending on to his legacy. And hopefully when I'm done, someone piggybacks off and takes the reign from me. And just like the coaches who are doing it. So we got another segment that's going to give you more insight, but we're going to go right into the trivia. I want to see how your boxing knowledge is. So let's see what your boxing knowledge is before we watch the next segment, which is fire as well. But this is to get admittance on a scholarship to the School of Boxing. And hopefully you'll find it as pleasing as we see the other people are, and learning and understanding the smartest boxing minds on the planet, mate. So, who was one of Cus D'Amato's professional fighters who trained under the peekaboo? Somebody named one guy. I want to see what you know. I want to test your boxing cachet. What's good? Let me see. I don't see it. Jose Torres. If you in TSOB, you need a name too. Man, how you gonna make a comment and then ask me at the same time before your sentence is finished? What is that? That's not a trivia. It look like you asking the questions. Stephen J. Hall. Come on, man. Where you from, Stephen? Special shout out to Stephen. My guys from TSOB, please help him. Jose Torres, Kurt Thomas. Floyd Patterson was definitely one of the fighters. Beautiful. See, we got some of our boxing fans. Yeah, Stephen Hall. I caught you, brother. I caught you. Yeah. So, Jose Torres, Floyd Patterson. Name one guy who you don't know or did not win the championship from Cus D'Amato, but he trained. One heavyweight, let's say it's in the 70s. He was one of the big names too, but he trained under Cus D'Amato. If someone can name that dude before I go to the next question, not only will they get the scholarship, they will get the peekaboo bundle, which is, valued at $500. But the value is $100 million, if you get what I mean. If someone gets that, if someone types it in the comment box in the next 60 seconds, they will get that on us. Name 130 better than Shakur Stevenson. This ain't about Shakur Stevenson. He ain't even 30 fights in yet, dude. These are legends, Respect. And put some respect on Cus D'Amato name, Tyson name. Bam. He wins. Somebody just won, literally won $4,000 right now in merchandising and value with an amazing scholarships are no joke, man. A lot of work and business goes around a scholarship. This dude just won one in your face. He got quick. Oh, you know what? I got to take it back. You got a question mark. So you're asking me. You're not telling me. That dude had the answer, and you heard me live say he just won like $4,000 easily. Easily. And then I noticed you got the question mark. You know what? I will honor part of that deal then. I will honor. You don't get the peekaboo bundle where you learn it's 5.5 to closer to 6 hours worth of training, line by line, biomechanical, understanding every facet in which you're trained in the peekaboo style. The peekaboo bundle is that fire. Yes, 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 it is. You almost won that. Well, you can still go get it, but you don't get that for free. You definitely get admittance. So make sure we get your email address. Email us. Matter of fact, register for the virtual peekaboo training webinar, and what you'll do is get an opportunity. Let's get ready to watch how we actually see one of these different techniques that will be discussed is the history of the peekaboo. So hopefully you can take a minute and you're not busy, because we're going to actually go back through one of these current situations where Tyson was training, and you can kind of see what humility has done for his spirit. But man, we have some good trivia. I actually have 3 more questions, so you'll also have an opportunity to win it again after we watch this segment. And basically it's just going to give you an insight to what the peekaboo clinic and the theory behind the peekaboo clinic. So let's take a look back as we prepare to give you some insight to the history. And I hope you take this serious, because boxing, we about that life. Buster Mathis question mark. Get out of town. We're going to take it all the way back. Today, what we're going to do is get into some serious insight and depict some of the typical conversation held around some of today's most known styles, and how to build a foundation is where we're going to go. And we're going to take it all the way back, as far back as the 40s, when the greats truly designed these systems, and it allows us today to become masters. So, with no further ado, it's time to box. The origin of this style that we're focusing on today is basically the foundation of your stance and your defense. Some of you think when you see this move and posture that this is the peekaboo, but the origin dates back. I think it's really low, so. Turtle shell was the beginning of the peekaboo style, taught and created by the great late Archie Moore, and it was forearm blocks. Later, this is talking about the forearm blocks of Archie Moore and perfected by George Foreman. Had Floyd Patterson, Jose Torres. Cus D'Amato had Floyd Patterson, Jose Torres, and Mike Tyson. He was very solid, making the foundation and fundamentals of the peekaboo style. And when people usually saw this, they thought that was all that was behind the peekaboo. The peekaboo style is all about peeping between the forearms. Archie Moore, peekaboo style. When you first come into the boxing gym, the thing about it is we're going to teach you degrees of. So we're going to teach you the degrees of it. You got to get registered to see that. Let's get live, brother. That's the fire. That's what it's all about. So what the concept was people always assumed that this was just the peekaboo, but they think this is the peekaboo. That is called windshield wipers. And I don't care who you are. I'm a boxing scientist. All right. So that's called windshield wipers. You learn about it on day one. That's one of your defensive moves. The peekaboo is based upon the hands, forearms, buddy. So when you see this and you say, hey, I'm doing a peekaboo, like, no, that was just Tyson had pugilistic fundamentals. If you knew that, that means you know something. But if you didn't, give me some shout. Show me some love, because that's what it is. Bottom line, period. You got to understand what you're looking at in order to become a master at anything. Yes, man, you're like 20 minutes late. Yes, but the key is understanding that behind that peekaboo is the stuff that you really learn, and not you've been listening to media, and the media has blown it and made it second nature for you to assume that. But any real real throwback teacher with at least 4 generations in this game will tell you. I don't know about these new poo butt individuals that are supposedly trying to learn how to do this thing, because it takes, some real dedication. But the truth of the matter is this: there's so much you do not know. Once you finish the first 30 minutes, you're going to feel absolutely stupid. You're going to realize even quicker that you don't know anything about boxing, but you're fast to talk about it. So just check your things, man. All your boxes need to be checked. And the fact of the matter is this: boxing is a beautiful thing. Let's do it some honor. And it's going to take all of y'all to put some respect on the name of boxing, because it's the only combat sport in the entire world that stands alone. It doesn't need company. It stands alone. And it's one of the longest reigning sports. It's the longest reigning sport. All right. Bottom line, it's carried our countries for centuries. Put some respect on the name of boxing. It's a lot to learn it. And just because you might not want to go to school and do stuff, so you come to the gym, let me explain something to you, man. When you come through them doors, all you're trying to learn is how not to get that smoke. Because what'll happen is you become a true fighter, a martial artist. When you start to do that, you start to change the way you think. In that anger, you learn to channel and become that humility takes over you. And once you have that in you, you start to touch people and they start to be better just because of your presence. And that's you. That thing that you're great in, when it's kind of permeating off of you, when you're in the audiences and crowds or wherever you are, it's coming off of you. And that's what makes people respond to you in the thing you do. But that thing that you do that creates that energy for you is that this is that for me. I am boxing. Not one person on the world, in the entire universe, can deter my system, my science, my understanding of the sport, because it's like I said, things with experience behind it make sense. So when you're learning, make sure that you get people who are sources. There are people that you can learn from out there still. And it's only a few of them, and they know exactly what I'm saying. But when you got a guy who has the lineage behind him, like Mike Tyson did, and Cus D'Amato, who's already proven he understands the model of the peekaboo. No, Kevin Rooney could not be a fighter in the ring mastering the peekaboo style and have a successful career, but he can take what he knew and fuse it into another kid who had all of the savage package tools, the legs, the speed, the quickness, which isn't the same as speed, because speed is in the direction of what you can go in a linear movement. When you're talking about quickness, it's the explosiveness of the motion. So you can be running straight and boom, and then the motion in which you create 0.15 of a second faster than a regular slow twitch muscle. You think about how small a second is. You're talking to breaking it down 0.15 of a second is your quick twitch muscle. So explosiveness does play a role if you know how to use it, and if you're being trained right, and when you're at a certain level of the game. But then there gets to that certain level of the game where your quickness, your speed, your power are irrelevant. And we call them epic title nights. All right. Just look up some epic title fights. Gotti Ward, very, very, very violent. Look at it. What you're going to see is the level of technique and skill of two real warriors going at it. But when you want to see purists, you go back and you look at Purist Box. And there's several guys. I'll name some skills, some guys with some skills that was really clean with it. Terry Norris, the guy who retired Sugar Ray the second time. James Toney, holla at your boy. Rolling shoulder master, defensive purist. And I didn't say pugilist because this dude was pure defense. I'm talking about people that when you watch them, you know you're watching something different. When you get up there with that speed and that quickness and that power, those guys like that take it away from you. All right? Purist. And that's what this is all about, giving you the real stuff. So I sucked you right in with that Mike Tyson. So make sure you saw it. Yeah, man, it's going down in the real kind of way. Last check-in. But hey, Coach, what's up, Neil, my friend from out in South Wales? Special shouts out to you. Hope all is going well across the pond, Mike. It's all good. Man, I love this. Master Boxing, follow the process, muscle memory. This is not a game. James, lights out, Tony. These guys had something different. They had something special. And what I'm going to do is replay the fight between Michael Spinks and Mike Tyson for those of you who did not see. And this time it'll play to the end. But make sure you get registered because we are going to light it up and you won't be able to see this on the page. Win the scholarship. Oops, I got one more trivia question. Boy, you almost got away. Oh, I was going to. A couple of facts. Cus D'Amato's birth name was Constantine D'Amato. He wanted to switch that up a little bit, sound a little bit stronger. I'm about to train Floyd Patterson. I need to change get a gym name, a coach name, Cus. Cus fits better. Sometimes you got to change things in order to land at the highest level of things. It's all about making it make sense. Let's get this question in. I got so many of them. That's the register. Make sure you register. Let me see where we at. I think I got. Did I do all my question? Who was the first fighter? Who was the first one to use the peekaboo? I don't know if I asked that question before, but whoever gets this, you still have an opportunity to win scholarship along with, you'll get probably a heart by your name too, just to confirm it. Just make sure you all send up your email and go register and just subscribe to the site because we got some funky other clinics coming up. You definitely want to get a taste of those babies, a swig, and it is absolutely going down now. All right, I'm going to show y'all the promo to our show. So this is going live, man. I love the fact that we're doing this live. Y'all tell me what you think in the comment box below when you see this little clip. It just gives you a little taste of kind of what we've been doing. I hope you like our premiere. See what it is. Bump it. How'd you like it? Talk to me. Let me see what my master box is all about. Let's see what you got. Tell me what you think about the new promo. We did the new promo. We had to hit you off with it. Hopefully you did appreciate it. Mike Tyson is just so spectacular. We're looking forward to getting this thing going with you. I think it's going to be some fights this weekend. So this next segment, we pretty much is going to just kind of leave your comments down below. Povetkian, once again, is getting inside of the ring. I want to see you guys drop down who you think will have the best opportunity. Can anyone come back from a knockdown, knockout like Dylan White experience? What do you think in the comment box below? I hate to pivot off of Mike Tyson, but it is fight weekend. And, you know, on the planet Earth, we like to get it popping with this fight game. Put it down in the comment box. And we getting ready to get it out and get it in. And just say special shouts out to all of you who are doing it well. Make sure that you catch up with that little segment back in the Tyson forum if you didn't see the first time. There are some pearls of wisdom in there, so make sure you check it out. Share it with your friends. Make sure that you like and leave us a good comment. Let us know where you're from. When we check the feed, we like to know who our people are. And I love knowing that you love boxing because that's what we're here to do. Bridge the gap, bring clarity to the sport, elevate the game to the next level, and make sure that the trainers of tomorrow are going to be teachers as well. My name is Eric A. Bradley once again, and you're now currently watching The Fight Show. And this is where we break the fight world down, baby, round by round. I get real sharp for the show, and I hope you guys appreciate the lineage in which we're bringing this show from. Until next time, be blessed at God's speed. I'm out. Special shouts back out to all the TSOB members. We're in the building, baby. And I'm leaving it out with this. I got to leave it out with this, man.